Welcome to episode number 44 of the Keep Up Podcast.
And episode number 32 of the Keep Up Vodcast.
Oh my gosh, I almost flipped everyone off.
32 the Keep Up
Oh, nice visual bonus.
Should we do that over?
No way, you got it. Oh,
What was it? 30 what?
32 of the Keep Up Vodcast.
I tried to go like this and only one. No offense.
Your recovery was like fantastic.
Anyways, yeah, we're here.
That's how we say hi in our country.
Yeah, it's a cultural thing. You wouldn't understand.
Mm-hmm.
Tim, how are you feeling?
I am excellent.
How excellent.
I am.
Scale of 1 to 6.
I would give myself probably a 5.9.
It's pretty good.
The only reason it's not a 6 is because I should be playing Final Fantasy right now.
That game's bad, I heard.
Yeah.
I never heard that.
Who's the demon?
Not a single person has said that.
Or in Final Fantasy land, Daemon.
Damon.
Daemon. It's spelled Deamon or Dae.
DAE.
It's Diamond. It's demon that's spelled weird.
You sound like Australian.
Yeah.
Diamond.
It's like a diamond.
It's a diamond.
A diamond in the rough, if you will. Roughed?
In
Rough,
the
roughed.
The ruffed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you should be doing that instead, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Yeah. How long did you play it for last night?
Not very long.
Why?
I was pretty tired.
What time did you go to bed?
2:30. That's early for me.
Yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm.
I think, was it last week we talked about how you typically go to bed at 4?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I'm slowly regressing.
Are you?
Yeah.
Or was it a one-time thing?
Well, we'll see tonight.
Did you play it today?
I actually did not.
So what are you talking about?
Because I have other things I need to finish, but I really
no,
want to...
I totally get that.
I want to finish the things and then play Final Fantasy,
Yeah.
but
No, I get that 100%.
it's just on my head all day.
Yeah.
Not in it.
Did you play it at all yet?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm like 7 hours in,
Oh my gosh.
which is nothing for that
yeah,
game.
no, I know. It's just funny because I'm thinking like you started it and you're like, oh, this is fun. I'll come back to it. But you're 7 hours
Yeah,
in.
that's nothing. I seriously,
Yeah.
I'm on chapter 2. 7 hours in.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I've heard it's amazing.
I have a lot to say, but we'll talk about it when we get to games.
Yeah. Roughly how many hours of sleep do you average nightly or morningly in your case?
Probably like 8 or 9 hours.
Really?
Because I go to bed at 4, and if it's a work week, if I'm working,
Yeah.
I generally wake up between 12:30 and 1.
Wow.
Because I prefer...
I mean, I know that. I've just never done that math until...
Right.
I'm
So-
just trusting you.
Yeah,
I really want to count it out on my hands.
Let's see. It's fine, Brett. I think counting on your hands is fine. People say you look dumb doing it. I think I look smart. Because I'm using my tools.
Wow, that is.
Mm-hmm.
I just did it in my head, podcast listeners.
I saw your fingers. Oh, I ruined it.
I was thinking today how I'm pretty sure if I get 6 hours, that's like astronomical for me.
What do you mean astronomical?
Like I never get that.
Really?
Yeah.
That explains why you sleep all the time.
I don't, yeah, unintentionally,
Mm-hmm.
I guess. But like, yeah.
Why is that?
Well, lately because of my new job, like I'm up pretty early, but I'm really stubborn when it comes to sacrificing my night activities. Which is not as like devious or scandalous as it sounds. I just mean like
Whatever, Brett.
That's what I like to
Behind closed doors.
hang out.
You do what you want. I'll do what I want.
Whatever the activities may be, it's hard for me to go to bed at like 10. Like tomorrow, I gotta be at work at 5, so I gotta get up at like 4.
So you should go to bed at 1.
I should be asleep right now.
I know. I'm with you. I can't go to sleep unless it's past midnight.
Yeah.
Like the next day needs to start for me to be like, okay, I've fulfilled last
Right.
day's requirements.
I've really milked this day. Gotten what I can.
That's
out
what
of
I
it.
need to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can get away with 6. It's rare when I do 6 hours of sleep, but it's generally I like 8 or 9 hours, and I feel well rested.
And that's
so.
that's what they say you should get, right? Like 8 hours. The least I can run on, not comfortably, but is like 4 hours. I am of the opinion that if you sleep for 3 hours, you should just like I mean, I would rather just kind of be dead. Have you ever slept for 3 hours? Like, have you ever, like, at night, not a nap? There, I don't know if it's a mental thing, but if I have to get
naps
up.
mess me up too.
Yeah, those are messy, right? If you fall asleep during the day and it's like a couple hours and you wake up and you're like, what year is it?
Yeah, like it's night and you're still in all your clothes and you're like, I have no idea what happened.
Yeah. Where is everyone?
It's like, okay, I'll start my
about their
day.
Yeah, I know. It's super weird. But like there's one time in particular that comes to mind. I had to pick up my friend at the airport like crazy early. So I had to get up at like 3 a.m. But as is usual for me, I didn't go to bed till I probably like forced myself to lay down at like midnight. So I probably got 2.5 to 3 hours, and I just wanted to throw up when I woke up.
You were just so
like I literally feel sick with 3 hours. It doesn't do anything.
It's just 3 hours. So how about 2 hours? Do you think that's the same effect?
I don't know. I think at that point I just try to stay up.
Okay. Because I'm thinking there's like a point. Like for me, if I sleep even hours, which is a weird thing to say, but I feel like I get better sleep.
I think there is something about that because there's something about the 3 hour mark that kills me. If I fell asleep for an hour, it would just feel like I fell asleep real quick. But 3 hours, I literally wake up nauseous.
That's
it's
so
weird.
weird.
It's super
I
weird.
need to try it. Just
give it a shot.
Yeah,
see if
you
you
know.
feel gross for an entire day.
yeah, just
And you're
I'll do it
welcome.
on a work night, and then going to work.
That'd be
feeling
the
awful.
best. Definitely make sure you have like a ton of plans.
Yeah.
The next day.
Okay. One more thing.
Yeah.
That all-nighter that I did,
Yeah.
I slept for 4 hours after staying up all night.
Mm.
And I felt fine. I mean, I was tired, like I felt it, but I'm not like ghastly tired.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
It's I don't know, I felt all right.
Have you been like, you've probably been to the point where like you didn't sleep enough, whether you were busy that week or whatever, and you find yourself like nodding off during the day, like you're that tired that.
I've never really been
No?
hit that much, like that hard. Sometimes, no. Like people talk about blacking out after like a long day of work or whatever.
Yeah.
Like they just come home and pass out. That I don't know. It hasn't happened to me too much to my
Yeah.
knowledge that I can tell stories about it.
Because you were blacked out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why I'm talking about sleep so much.
No, it's everyone loves sleep. Secretly,
Yeah.
As a baby, you like gain all these sleep hours, and then as you grow older, you start spending those sleep hours.
Yeah.
And depending on how much you slept, you might be,
Yeah.
using all those hours.
You're right.
That's my logic, anyways.
It's pretty decent. It's sound logic.
Yeah.
Speaking of sleeping,
Uh-huh.
at times I don't want to.
Uh-huh.
Should we move into movies?
Oh, yeah, you jerk.
It wasn't that bad.
Yep.
Okay. So we saw a film.
Yes.
Man, it was so awesome.
It was so awesome.
I want to do it again.
So we saw the 15th anniversary re-release of Spirited Away. It's
15th anniversary.
Yeah, that's crazy. That movie's 15 years old. If you don't know, it's a pretty popular anime by Studio
Ghibli.
I can't say it. I love.
I'm
the
officially
studio.
going Ghibli.
Ghibli. I'll always say both just to cover my tracks.
Don't.
like,
No, because you saw the short. They
Right.
said Ghibli's.
and he's not exaggerating.
It was about that
It
long.
was about that long.
So Hayao Miyazaki.
Yes,
Am I saying that right?
I hope so.
All right, rolling with it. Yeah, I mean, Studio Ghibli is pretty famous. You either kind of know all their stuff or you don't know who they are. I feel like maybe you've seen some of their movies. What are their most famous? Probably Spirited Away, Howl's Moving Castle,
Princess Mononoke.
Princess Mononoke,
I would say
Totoro.
Totoro's popular.
He's like the mascot.
Yeah, so that's why people I think would know
What
it.
about Kiki's Delivery Service?
Probably.
I've
'cause-
actually never seen that one.
You've never seen it?
Mm.
Well, I remember as a kid with, I think it was Pokemon. It was one of the commercials in front of the VHS.
Yeah,
VHS tape.
that's
I
probably
remember.
why it always looks familiar to me. Like in what's the word? Like reminiscent, nostalgic. Like it always feels like something I
Right, you've seen.
grew
and
up
you're like-
seeing.
Yep.
Yeah, but I've never seen the movie.
I have that with I don't know the name of it, but it's the White Lion anime. It's this was at the end of Pokemon too.
I think it starts with a K.
Isn't it like Simba? It's like Kimba or something.
Oh, it's Kimba.
Is
I
it
think.
Kimba?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
I remember because there's a big controversy that it's like the same
It's
exact
just a
story.
Lion King
yeah,
ripoff?
exactly. But I think that
Kimba.
came first, and then Lion King came after. So
I knew it was
I know
stolen.
Kimba, Simba, all that stuff. So,
That's
but I
funny.
have like this fond memories of watching it. I've never seen it
Never seen
whatsoever.
it.
Just because I've seen that commercial
Yep.
so many times. I just feel like I've seen the whole series.
I have that with Surf Ninjas.
Surf Ninjas.
You ever see Surf Ninjas?
Mm-mm.
I think it was a preview on one of the Ninja Turtles VHSs.
Okay.
Which, needless to say, I saw like 150,000 times.
150,000.
And I don't know that I ever saw the movie, but I sure remember the preview.
So you should watch the movie and see if
I want to.
it'll just give you like.
I'll probably love it.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be super goofy.
It's
but
Surf Ninjas.
It came out like around Ninja Turtles, Three Ninjas, like that whole thing. That's probably very 90s and pretty awesome.
Was there a ninja craze in the 90s?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. For sure.
For sure.
In the 80s, well, the 80s
It must have been
was like,
early or late 80s, early 90s.
In the 80s, there was like, well, it wasn't all ninjas, but like, there's all the action stars. But then they did do like American Ninja, that I think it was a trilogy eventually. Wow. But in the 90s, we got Beverly Hills Ninja.
Oh, yeah.
So that's a ninja classic.
Never seen it.
Really? Dude, I love Chris Farley so much.
What's the one with Eddie Murphy? Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He's not a ninja.
Yeah. He might be, though.
Maybe.
He's Donkey. Donkey's a ninja.
Right, Donkey Ninja.
Mm-hmm.
My mouth was open and everything. So this movie,
Yes.
Spirited Away, I had never seen it.
And I've seen it. It was the first anime I've ever seen.
Really?
Well, I mean, I've seen Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh, but this was like, I would consider my introduction to anime. I took a Japanese class in 4th grade. It was like an after-school program, and it just like...
I didn't know your love for Japan has been that long
It's been
in the making.
Yeah, it's been there for a while. So, yeah, it was unfortunate, though, because we moved halfway through 4th grade. So I got to go to like 4 classes, I think.
Oh, dude.
So, and the biggest thing is the last class we watched half of Spirited Away, and I couldn't finish it. And for years, I couldn't get it. I just, I was a kid, so I didn't have money. It's never on TV.
Yeah.
So,
oh, man. That's rough.
A few years ago, I don't even remember when, but I got, I think I just bought it on DVD. I think I was like, this is it. I finally get the chance, and I saw it and loved it.
Yeah.
Absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
But, it was crazy that I'm like, that it was my introduction, but I never finished it, but I still remembered it and it still stuck with me.
Yeah.
And so I was so happy to see the 15th anniversary come around.
And seeing it in the theater.
Is such a beautiful thing.
So beautiful.
I don't think anything beats the theater experience.
No. I mean, it's still around for a reason. You can watch movies in any capacity. Like, people have home theaters, but
VR,
I just love going.
Yeah.
It's so great.
It's so beautiful.
This was my first time seeing this one. I honestly haven't seen nearly as many Studio Ghibli movies as I would like to. I've loved all the ones I've seen. Most recent releases were Ponyo and Arrietty, right?
There was The Wind Rises. That was
that's right.
Technically Miyazaki's last film, but he's already come out of retirement.
Yeah.
So he's working on something else, so it's very short-lived.
Yeah.
But Wind Rises, and there's a bunch of like side projects that they like
all
dip
the
their
Kids stuff.
Yes,
like they did like Summer Wars and
never even heard of that.
Really?
One.
There's I'm pretty sure that had the G Kids logo because I was seeing all this stuff come out with the animation that looked like the studio's animation, and I just saw the G Kids logo, but I didn't know what it was. I never like looked into it, and none of it had like Miyazaki's name on it or anything. But they all look super rad, and I heard great things about them. But I have a collection that is I mean, it's definitely not official. I totally thought it was when we got it, but there's a collection on Amazon that has like everything up to Arrietty.
I think it's missing a few. Like I don't think Tales from Earthsea is on it, which.
Oh right.
Which I think it's a G Kids thing or whatever company because I don't think they're attached to it.
Yeah.
But like you said, it was the same animation.
Right.
But I've seen that one and that's a really good one. But I don't think that's on it. But anyways, it's a really good collection. It's got like the earliest, the first ones, all the way up to. They must have the Wind Rises one. The Wind Rises.
This one, Summer Wars. You ever heard of that?
Summer Wars. Oh no, but it looks awesome.
I know. Just the cover looks cool.
Dude, that bunny guy in the back.
That's
with
what
the
I'm
goggles,
saying.
That's sick.
He's the man. Anyways, you should put a picture up for the vodcast.
Yeah.
You probably did. Sorry, I brought it up.
Nope, it's okay.
Podcasters, I apologize. Look up Summer Wars. It looks sweet. So, yeah, this was an amazing experience. My reference to sleeping earlier was that I dozed off a couple times. I'm sorry. I was really tired. And that's honestly, nothing makes me feel as old as falling asleep in the movie theater, honestly.
In the movie theater. But I could kind of get it if you're super tired and it's just a nice environment to sleep. Like the seats are comfy. And
right. But here's the thing. This has happened to me before at midnight showings, which I don't feel that bad about because I'm like, it's like, you know, especially one was Batman Begins, that's a pretty long movie if I remember correctly.
You saw that midnight premiere?
Yeah. And I remember dozing off. I still don't remember a lot about that movie because
When's the
of
last
that.
time you've seen it?
Couldn't tell you.
Oh, wow.
It's been a really long time. But I'll rewatch it again soon. How about that? Relax.
Time.
So this was like right in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
So I didn't really have...
we got there at 12 in the afternoon, I guess.
Okay, we got there.
Oh, yeah.
This is so annoying. So it was scheduled at noon, right? It's a noon showing, and we got there at 11:30, maybe a little bit before to make sure we got good seats. We get there, the theater, it wasn't sold out, but it was pretty packed.
It was, it wasn't like sold out in the sense that the theater was full of people, but when we went to, like, I accidentally almost bought a ticket and it said sold
Oh, it did
out.
say, that's right. But I felt like not every seat was full.
No, not at all. The whole front row was still open.
That's interesting. I wonder why that is. But a lot of people in the theater, and we're all waiting. 12 o'clock comes around, and a countdown comes up on the screen that says 30 minutes till showtime.
And we're like, what?
Yeah, and you heard like little grumbles throughout the theater, like, what?
Yeah.
Everybody's looking at their phones, like, what the heck is this? Because everybody got there to see it at noon. And then, first of all, they it's just weird commercials for a little while. They show you a little bit of trivia, and I swear it was less than 5 minutes before the counter disappeared.
Yeah.
And then it started after 12:30 even. It wasn't even 12:30
No,
when
they
it
were
started.
like, oh, we put this timer too early.
Yeah, it was super
Yeah,
super
it was
goofy.
weird that they made us wait the extra 30 minutes. It's not like...
Not like more people were coming in.
Or they were waiting for like the tape to come in, you know, the reel, like the film. They had it digitally, I assume that's how they do it now. But
yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. It was weird, but it's fine. I like the trivia. That was cool.
Yeah, the trivia was cool, but then they started repeating it, and everyone in the theater goes, "Ah!"
I know when the same one comes up again, we were like,
"That's so great."
It was pretty funny to be in like an environment where everybody is like enjoys the same thing, and we all get it.
Yeah, exactly. So the movie itself, especially as like a first-time viewer, to me was just like unbelievable. It's one of those things where all of the movies I've seen from Miyazaki or Studio Ghibli, which he doesn't do every one of the Ghibli movies, right? I mean, does he?
I'm pretty sure he does.
Really? Like,
I don't know
to some capacity?
I know his name is always slapped on every single one.
Yeah.
I know he directed it, and I
this
believe
one
he wrote
for sure,
it.
yeah.
But all of them, I'm pretty sure he has his hands in all of them for sure. There's a documentary out there.
I know. I have it in my queue.
Kingdom of something. I'll have it pop up right now. And
Yeah.
audio listeners will have to just go look at it.
Yeah.
But it shows the whole process of them making a movie. And I watched like 10 minutes of it and fell asleep because I put it on super late. But
What a loser!
I know, I'm for shame. But it seems really interesting. To see the whole process of how the movies are made and everything.
Isn't it like Kingdom of Dreams or something like that?
I think you're very close.
Kingdom of Dreams and Madness.
Yes.
This movie, just like, Mononoke, and the other one I saw was Castle in the Sky. I did see Ponyo. It's just so fantastical. And what I was saying after to you was like this idea of how in some movies there's like one or two creatures, like say like I don't mean this as a comparison necessarily, but in like a Guillermo del Toro movie, there's a lot of focus put on creature design,
Yes.
and makeup and costumes and stuff like that, because that's like what he does. And you're waiting to see like a few creatures, and typically he has a good amount. I would say, like more than a lot of thrillers or like horror movies that will introduce a type of creature that's really interesting to look at, and I think of like Pan's Labyrinth. They're probably, I don't know, there's a good handful of creatures that you're like, are significant. And you're like, oh, I remember that. It's so unique.
Even in Crimson Peak, like,
there
was really only one ghost technically in
Yep.
the whole situation, but it took a bunch of different forms.
Yeah, right.
And it was really neat to see. And it's cool to see like when they take the time in to make multiple creatures instead of just being lazy and having the one creature, the one
exactly.
thing.
Like, which, you know, that can be cool. Some if you're watching like a vampire movie and they're doing a different take on vampires, like Blade 2,
Right.
they had like I forget what they called them, but the things with the jaws that
Yeah,
open.
yeah,
That was
yeah.
Guillermo del Toro, actually.
Oh,
now
of
that I'm thinking
course.
about it. And I love that, but they just introduced this one new design that's like, oh, that's crazy, and you're kind of looking at that throughout the whole thing. I bring that up because watching any of the Miyazaki films that I've seen, there's just like strange thing after strange thing after strange thing with very little explanation as to why they are what they are or why they look the way they
just want
look.
you to take it. Like you're there. They just place
Right.
you in it, and you're like, all right.
And all the characters, like in this one, you're essentially following a human character. Not essentially, you are the central character. She's got two names. There's
Sin.
I thought it was Sen.
I think it's Sin.
Is it?
Well, they made it sound like Sin
I know. I can.
in her original name. I'm looking it up
Yeah,
right
that's
now.
what I can't remember as her original name. But you follow a young girl, and she's the central character. But like none of the humans in these stories have any qualm with all the weirdness going on around them.
Not really. She
You know,
seems
like-
to be like freaked out about it throughout the movie, but she's like, all right, I just gotta kind of go with
There's
it.
not a whole lot of questions. So one mainstay in most of the movies that I've seen is there's some sort of spirit. In this one, you have like the soot spirits, and some of them are super creepy and weird. Some of them, not the soot spirits, but just in general, some of the spirits and ghostly things you see are, you know, kind of eerie, and others are just like these adorable little side creatures, which is kind of what the soot spirits are like. And you have them all in one movie, and I guess it's just so like the movies are so multi-toned.
It feels like the art style is like kids' imagination with like an adult artist.
That's a really
basically.
good way to put it.
Because it is. It's like you said, fantastical. It feels very like childish, but there are a lot of like overlaying themes and some just really creepy, like No Face, for instance.
No Face, yeah.
He's like, if you haven't seen the movie, he's like the main black ghost looking thing with the mask, and you know, he's creepy. He's really creepy.
Yeah,
like
he
you
is.
see him in the beginning of the movie, and it just kind of fades in and out, and there's like some creepy scenes. So it's cool that it's great for adults and kids.
Yeah.
And I mean that's the style of all those kinds of movies.
It really is, and it feels like unhinged imagination to me, and that's what I think is so amazing. Is it just feels there is a story, and there's so much that goes on throughout the movie that you're like, how are they putting this all in one movie? And because even just the introduction of one character, like No Face, is you immediately start wondering, like, okay, what is that? Where did it come from? Why is it here? But in the meantime, they're telling you the main story. So I think that's what keeps your brain so busy. That's how I feel. It feels not in a bad way, but just watching the whole thing, I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so much happening.
Right.
But it's just because they introduce characters without being like, you know, all the
You like started dying.
trying to
No
get
Face
through-
got to you.
Oh man, I didn't even inhale anything. Just like too much air came in or something. But you know what I'm saying? Like they'll
Yeah.
just introduce a character and you're almost waiting for an explanation. I think because we've been conditioned to expect one
Right.
when we see something we don't understand. But I love that they just don't.
It's just part of that world, and
Yeah.
you just had to like her name is Chichiro.
When they were saying it, it was just like it was only like 2 syllables, I think, like
Yeah.
Jero or something like that. Or
I'm so bad. I
Let me
I
look
love
at
this
it. Let
movie,
me
and
look
I
at it.
can't.
I know
I'm terrible with like other languages.
Chihiro,
Chihiro,
is that it?
I think so.
Yeah, I can't remember the exact pronunciation, but it's funny that they don't show her other name that she gets because that's what they call her almost the whole time.
Yeah. Chihiro. Because I was reading some trivia about it, and the Japanese, the kanji, is if you spell out Chihiro, it means 1,000 words or 1,000 searches or something like that. I
Okay.
didn't look it up specifically, but because how the language works, she was left with like the middle part of her name, which turns out to be Sin, which just means 1,000 blank.
Oh.
Like, so she got that. I guess there's some significance with her name being taken away, obviously, in the story. But that, like, getting rid of the ending part just makes it seem like someone owns you, basically, which is kind of the main theme of the
interesting.
story. But
Yeah, so we're a little late in the description of it, but could you give a synopsis of what Spirited Away is about?
I don't think so.
No.
Well, not in a bad way, but it's like it's so all over the place that it's cool. It's awesome in that regard because it's like there is a story there, but it's really tough to explain, I guess.
I would say the core story is this young girl is moving with her parents, which you almost forget because it just happens at the beginning.
Right.
They mention it. They're driving to their new home. They stop somewhere and end up being, I guess, spirited away, like wisped away into this new land. And it starts to get dark and everything around the young girl changes and her parents change. And the rest of it is her trying to understand.
Her goal is to save her parents. She
That's essentially it. But in order to do that, she has to understand this whole new strange world she's in. And the aspect I really like about it, because it maintains that like childish charm or childlike charm, I should say, is they take the young girl and she becomes alone and taken away from her parents into this new strange world, and she's just figuring it out herself.
Yeah,
you know?
I think it's a story of like maturity. Like it's her realizing, taking her first steps into becoming an adult, becoming like independent, basically.
Yeah.
And it's really cool just to see that transformation because at the beginning of the movie, she's terrified. She's, I'd say a little bratty. She yells a lot at the beginning.
Yeah.
And then
she's super clingy to her parents.
Yes, exactly.
Like,
And then, by the end of the movie, little spoilers, but she is, much more independent. She can do her own thing. She's not.
She's had to.
Yeah. And it's just really cool. That's like that the story is basically just her way of becoming an adult, becoming independent. And it's told in just such a wacky fashion.
So wacky. And what I love about stuff like this, movies like this, that come from a different part of the country, a different cultural mentality, is it really challenges me in like what I expect to see. And it kind of like, it just...
Say a different part of the country.
Oh, did I say that?
Yeah.
I meant the world. I meant to say a different country. Everything's made in America, right?
Of course.
Thank you so much for catching that.
I was like,
I would have wanted to die.
I almost let it go.
Oh my gosh. Don't ever let anything like that go. If I was editing this and heard it, I'd be like, Tim, delete it. We're not posting this podcast.
Restart the whole podcast.
No, it comes from a different part of the world, a different cultural mentality. It's a really good example to me of how art can expand your mind and show you, different cultures. Because I think the way that people create is very much indicative of like their background and their culture and stuff like that. And there's, I don't know, I mean, there's a thing about anime where a lot of times it's this like, the method of storytelling is very different than I would say we're used to seeing in America. And that is part of why there's been such an explosion of it here, I think, is because it's just different and it's very out there, and in comparison to a lot of linear stories, that we see regular blockbusters that are churned out and stuff like that. So something like this where there's just so much going on that's outside of the realm of what you've seen before.
Yeah.
Is like an adventure.
It's so beautiful.
Beauty is a good word for it, because there is a lot of beauty in these movies, like moments where you see through all of the wackiness that's been going on, or not see through it, but there's a pause, and you are just looking at something that's like
every I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah. Seeing it on the big screen made me realize, I mean, not that it wasn't beautiful before, but it just solidified how beautiful these movies are. Every single still in this movie could be its own picture. Could be its own painting.
Oh yeah, aesthetically it's just like unbelievable.
It's like unbelievable. And I totally get what you're saying. It's beautiful because there are just these shots where it's like everything's super silent and it's just a shot of the ocean, and like you see birds go by and you're like just sitting there breathing it in, basically, because it's so breathtaking.
Yeah, and then story-wise and character-wise, there will be there will be a single multiple moments where you are seeing a character, again, like all the madness that you're witnessing kind of like separates and kind of like goes away for a minute, and you're just left with realizing like what this character has been doing the whole time. So for instance, I want to keep it as spoiler free as possible, but we see the main character trying to help a friend of hers that she's made in this new land or new world. And the way that she's so determined in this, what is a really dangerous situation, she's so determined to help him. and it's just kind of like a long scene of her trying to help him, and aside from all the like weird shapes of the creatures around her and all the strangeness, you're kind of just watching this one thing.
Oh, you're talking about the train?
Not the train. The train was cool.
That's a beautiful scene.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I'm talking about when her friend is really hurt and he's kind of going crazy and she's holding him down.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So it's just this long, he's freaking out, and like I said, there's an element of danger, but everything that you've been seeing kind of like, you kind of take a breath. And in that moment for me, I was like, man, she's like, just so, like you said, it's that maturity. It's like this coming of age thing. And nothing matters right there in that moment except for the fact that she cares a lot about this person and she doesn't care about any of the like craziness that's going on in the situation she's in. She's like, my friend's hurt. And for the movie to be able to like bring you into all this madness and whirlwind of new sights and sounds and colors and to calm everything down, that's like, I'm like, how did they do that? Like, how is this? Because have you ever seen something that's real crazy and that's all it is? Like, you're like, none of this makes any sense.
Oh, there's plenty of animes I've seen.
Totally.
And it's just like constant explosions, violence. It's just crazy awesome. And it's a great thing, but it doesn't leave me with as much as an impact as, you know, a Miyazaki film or...
doesn't have like the same heart, I guess,
exactly.
You know? It's more of a... just an excitement thing, which, like you said, those are cool and they have their own merit, but there's just they're so multi-layered. These movies are so multi-layered, and this one, there's a reason why this one I think is one of the most well-known.
Yeah, it won an Academy Award, Best Animated Film.
Really?
2001.
Well-deserved.
It totally deserves it.
So good.
So we, just to backtrack a little, we were talking about story. I read a cool little trivia bit where it was an interview with Miyazaki, and he was saying that he doesn't, or at least for this film, he didn't write a script. He didn't storyboard anything. All he did was draw the creatures and started just drawing, and he says he just lets the story take him. Like, he doesn't have a choice what the story's going to be. He's just going to let his art take him to do it.
That's crazy.
So that's why, you know, it makes sense because the movie, there is a story there. It's just so crazy all over the place that it's kind of hard to describe, but it makes sense. You know, he just drew these pictures and made a story out of it.
Because there are definitely certain moments where I'm like, what am I looking at right now?
What just happened?
Yeah, and like I said, you kind of expect more of an explanation of certain things. But at some point, you're like, all right, we're never going back to what just happened.
Yeah.
I'm just supposed to accept that.
Like with the little water dragon?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm thinking. There's a moment where this character just shows up, and it's I mean, I don't know how long the full scene is from the moment it's introduced.
I would say like maybe 20 minutes. It's a little long.
Yeah, and
it's good long, but
and they do this whole thing with it, and you know, by the end, it changes form and shape, and they quickly explain what and who it was. But it doesn't play a major role in the whole story. It's just this moment in her adventure.
Actually, kind of does.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's a little present, but
right. But even that's weird.
Yeah, it is weird.
Like she gets something from this interaction with this character, and she's trying to figure out what it is, and it's just very loosely like this is just what happens.
Yeah,
and it's so great.
It's kind of cool because the movie feels like almost a bunch of mini episodes.
Yeah.
Because like that scene we were just talking about, that feels like, not that it could be its own movie, but like an episode of an anime.
It totally could be.
It could be, you know, cut off. So it's cool because it feels like multiple stories within one, and it's just awesome.
It's really great. I mean, I recommend watching Spirited Away for sure. Maybe it's a good place to start if you've never seen any Miyazaki stuff.
It might be. It is. I was thinking like crazy. Like if you're not used to watching anime or, you know,
that's
anything,
true.
It's a lot to take in at first because you're like, what the heck is going on? But it is, I think, a good gateway drug into the anime.
See, now I'm wondering if it's gateway or if it's like
to advance.
I don't know. Like if you've never watched any anime or you don't understand like what that, or you've never seen any storytelling like that, it might be a lot to take in all at once.
I always compare it to Mom. What if she were, because she doesn't know anime. So if
she
I were
wouldn't
to
last through it.
Yeah, if I were to show her this, she would be like, "What the heck am I watching?"
You know what? I think Ponyo is probably a good start.
That's pretty tame.
It's
for the
pretty, yeah,
most
exactly.
part.
But it's still got these moments where you're like, what?
Yeah. Oh,
Like,
yeah. She like transforms from a fish to a human, and it's like,
with very little explanation.
yeah, yeah. But
So-
it definitely fits more into a kids movie. You know, it makes more sense for a kids movie. So
Yep. The first one I ever saw was Mononoke.
Okay.
And
great
so
movie.
good.
That was the other thing. There was a cool little you know, we were talking about the ads and stuff at the beginning of the trivia. It was cool that they gave the people who went to see Spirited Away a day early head start.
Yes.
Because they're also doing a 20th anniversary Princess Mononoke showing.
in January, and it just came up on the screen while we were waiting for the movie, and everyone was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
what?"
It was so cool.
I cannot wait to see that because that for me is the first one I saw.
Right, so that's so
I'm
exciting.
like, dude, I cannot wait to see
Yeah,
that.
I saw that like third or fourth, but it's so good.
I've had the collection that I have for, I mean, years at this
yeah,
point.
I've had mine for 2 years.
And I just haven't. I started at one point like I'm gonna watch all of them, and I watched one, and then I just didn't find the time to watch them. And I really want to go through all of them because they're so good. Every time I watch one, I'm like, this is amazing, it's so good. I don't want to just keep saying how good it was, but it's super good.
I mean, it's the only way to give it justice.
I would suggest this movie to anyone who just enjoys film, if you like animated movies at all. If you're a Miyazaki fan and haven't seen it, you should see it for sure. There was also the one special treat was the Ghiblis.
Yes.
Episode 2.
Yes.
I think is what they called it. Was it episode 2? So they did. It was older.
Yeah, these are in-house shorts that they made for like they just kind of like when you have not a brain freeze, but it's like writer's block.
Writer's block.
They did this as just to like give them a chance.
They were
to
trying
relax.
new animation. It said.
Yes, that was for My Neighbors, the Yamadas, or what I think that's the name of that one. So yeah, it was the animation style for that. They were practicing, seeing what they could do. So they released all these shorts. Like I don't know if how they released them in Japan. I don't know if it was only for people in the studio or if it was on TV or something. But this is the first time it came to America.
Yep.
Episode 2. So
yeah, it's just quick little vignettes of the Studio Ghibli team, and it's just them animated in their office. The first one is them going out for lunch.
yeah, they have a spicy curry meal.
Yeah. Oh man, that one was probably my favorite.
It was pretty funny.
It was really funny. And they just showed it was probably 3 or 4 quick little.
Yeah, there was one that felt like I'm pretty sure it was the same one, but it was like
The dancing one.
no, not the dancing one. I think the dancing one was part of the end of the curry one.
Oh yeah.
And then the next one, the freaking dancing one,
Yeah.
and then the next one, the romance one, the part when he's on the bus or the train.
The train.
I think that was connected. That was all part of the same one.
Oh, interesting.
It felt like 2 different ones.
because I didn't really get what that was such a quick.
It was that's what I connected them because they were like, oh, he's such a nice guy, and it was almost romantic. So I think that's why they went well together.
right.
Kind of give you a story of the guy.
Yeah, I think you're right.
But so yeah, the first one was the spicy curry one. That one was super funny and it was sweet. And then they had this weird dance one.
Yeah, that was so hilarious.
It was the 3 characters you see in the curry one, but they just do a bunch of different dances, basically.
Yeah, and they change form, and at one point the 2 guys are just in their underwear with like paint on their bodies, and it's like, but the animation is so funny. I can't even describe what the animation.
It's just
looks
really
like.
goofy.
It's really goofy, but it's so great, and I don't know where anyone could see that now.
I'm assuming they must be releasing it soon. I would hope. I mean, it's pretty easy to find anime like everywhere.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was really cool. The second story was like a romance one.
Yeah.
And that one was my favorite. That hit home.
Yeah.
It felt nice.
Yeah, it was really good. They were really well done, and I love animated shorts because they always just. We were talking afterwards about animation, and I think that being able to animate something opens like this whole world of, and I mean, I guess you could say that's just about film. It really depends on.
Well, there's a big difference because you can draw things that can never be done in film. Like
Totally.
you can have their bodies do certain things to give like what's the word? It's like clues with your body, not context clues, but like
Like body language?
Body language,
Yeah.
yeah. So there's body language that you could tell. You could have a whole movie without a single line because in animation, because you can have the body language tell the whole story. You know,
Which I mean, some people. I mean, there were silent films for.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
for sure.
And but I just think that for some reason animation opens up a world of storytelling where you could make you could make the most simple thing, the most simple concept, maybe even barely have a story to tell, really interesting and funny to watch just by animating it. And I was thinking that when they were doing, I mean, it was obviously a comedy, but the lunch short that they did where they were just at the office and they went out for lunch, it was hilarious because they did some kind of like Looney Tunes-esque stuff that was so ridiculous and, you know, something so spicy that they fly out of the restaurant like a rocket.
Yep.
But then there's also like just conversational comedy and stuff like that. But because it was animated and even the style of animation adds to the feeling of it, and I just feel like it's such an amazing thing because you're familiar with Robert Zemeckis.
Yes.
He did
Back to the Future.
Yeah, did he? Yeah.
Zemeckis, he did Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Ow, my knee.
But he did this stint of animated stuff, Polar Express, and all those ones that had like I think he did. Oh, what was the other one? Did he do Beowulf?
That would be crazy.
I think it was him he had this string of animated stuff where he was animating, but it was like kind of, I don't want to say the dawn of, but where we were seeing a lot of motion capture kind of come about.
Oh,
because you were seeing the actual actors, but animated. And that's when I was starting to think like,
Polar Express.
what else you got?
Real Steel. Oh, that's producing. Oh, I saw Beowulf show up though.
Yeah, he did like a string of animated
Beowulf.
stuff.
Polar Express, Beowulf, and he even did A Christmas Carol.
And A Christmas Carol, that's right. Those, which I was watching that the other day. That movie's really good.
It's freaky though.
It's super freaky.
But it's awesome. It's awesome.
Right. So I was thinking about his animation when it was coming out, and I was like, what is the point though of animating someone? Like, are we just going in circles? Because there's animation and then there's acting, and then you take the actors and animate them like to even look like them. And
why not just have them act?
Yeah, exactly.
Film the movie, yeah.
Right. And then it almost felt silly for asking the question afterwards, but it's because like in animation you can do things in the environment around them and just give it a certain look. And I mean, you can do it with CGI and stuff now in live action, but there's something about animating it and changing their surroundings and doing it in that manner that is different. And I was like, then you can take that actor and that actor's likeness and put them in a different styled world, I guess,
Yeah. I wonder also if it's like a money situation, like it's a lot cheaper to animate the worlds instead of making the sets.
I honestly don't know, because you look at something like those movies, there's a lot of animation that goes
Beowulf
into those.
blew my mind when that first came out.
It's super weird, dude. I honestly didn't know what to think of it because I was like, I don't know what to do with what I'm seeing right now.
Is this real or fake?
Yeah,
it's so well done that it blows my mind.
Yeah. Yeah, so I just, and seeing the shorts that they did at the end of the Spirited Away showing in the Ghiblis, it was just very, it was just making me think about animation and how you can take such a simple thing and make it so endearing. And I don't know what that is, but
I mean, Disney kills it with all their shorts.
Yeah, absolutely.
Paperman, I think is the new one.
Yeah, that's the one that I always think of.
I think the best short I've ever seen.
It's so great.
It's so good. But yeah, it's just, if that was live action, I don't think it would have the same effect.
Yeah, I don't think it would either. And I don't.
Because maybe it like hits the inner kid in you, and you're like,
maybe
it's just like, I don't know. There could be any number of reasons.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's been working. People have been doing it for at least 100 years, probably even more than that.
Probably more.
Well, when did Snow White come out? Well, was there anime before Snow White? I don't know the
yeah, there
history
was animated stuff. That's interesting, though.
What's the history of animation, of cartoons? I mean, because people must have discovered flip books pretty early on.
Yeah, I would imagine so. That's a good question. I wonder when art, like still art, turned into, art in motion, animation. Right. I wonder when that happened.
Because I'm curious if like Snow White was the first. I mean, there must have been people messing with it before, though.
Yeah, I think, Snow White's just because it was the first Disney animated classic, and, they just so good all
Yeah.
the time.
I'll look into that. I'm
Yeah.
curious what the history
Me
is
too.
now.
All right, so that is Spirited Away. It was
Yes.
an awesome experience.
I'm upset it only did one showing, though. I wish more people could go and see it.
I know. I almost feel bad talking about it, and you guys can't just go see it. But find someone with a home theater system, or if you have one, just
Or wait 5 years for the 20th anniversary.
yeah, they might do one again.
Mononoke is January 5th?
5th and 8th, 5th and it was like a couple days apart,
Yeah,
wasn't
it was a Monday and a Thursday, or a Thursday and a Monday.
Yeah, okay.
And
It's,
the first showing is the dub.
okay.
Spirited Away had the same thing, a dub and a sub. I think
Okay.
today is the sub.
Let's go.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fathomevents.com,
Yes.
I
Yeah,
think,
I've
is where
seen
you can find the tickets.
They did, Killing Joke. That was through Fathom.
Yeah, okay.
What else did I see? I surprisingly go to a good number of those for some reason.
Yeah, I
but
was looking at their stuff, and it's pretty cool. Like they do the
Dragon Ball Z. That's the other one I saw.
oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they do showings of like theater plays and why did I say theater plays? I guess I was specifying.
Yeah, I would have let you gone with it.
I know.
But yeah, it's cool because they do
Different
bring
part of the country.
Yeah,
And then they
exactly.
do like ballets and stuff in the theaters and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
It's pretty cool.
yeah.
I wasn't going to talk about another movie, but I don't want to because we talked about Spirited Away, and
For 48 minutes.
yeah, I kind of just want to leave it at that.
That's fine. It's that's great to dedicate a good chunk of the podcast to
Yeah.
something that deserves it.
Yeah, I feel good about it.
Me too.
Go watch Spirited Away.
Right now.
Do it.
Okay.
Do it.
Where are we going now?
I think we're going to games.
Video games.
Yeah.
So I know we got away from movies, but I need to bring it kind of back to movies in video games. I was gonna start
What?
specifically Del Toro.
Yeah, son.
So this weekend, I think it started on Friday.
Yeah.
Sony-
Friday. No, Friday is when the weekend starts.
Okay.
Is it though? Do you count Friday as part of the weekend?
Yes. No, I don't.
Oh,
No. Saturday and Sunday are the weekend. Friday is not.
I agree.
That is part of the week.
Carry on.
So this weekend,
Yeah.
Friday,
Huh.
was the big Sony conference.
Tell me about it.
They showed off a crap ton of games.
Gross.
Wow.
'Cause crap.
Yes. But actually, even before that was the Video Game Awards, which I'm crying that I missed. First year I missed it. Broke my heart.
Did you forget about it?
I had work. And I did. I didn't know it was December 1st, but
Oh, dude. It's
know.
December.
I know. That's weird.
Wow.
Anyway, so at the Game Awards, they showed a trailer for Kojima's next game.
Oh, yeah. Death Stranding?
Yes.
Yep.
A new trailer.
A new one.
A new one.
And we've seen the first one was crazy. We talked about that, I think, at length when it came out.
Yeah, and it still doesn't make sense to this day.
Yeah.
And this trailer just made it even worse.
It's so great.
So the trailer, have you seen it?
I haven't
Trailer?
seen it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not gonna spoil it, but
I mean, it's a trailer.
yeah,
so
I
go
know.
ahead.
Can you spoil a trailer?
Only to you when you
Yeah.
refuse to watch a trailer
Yeah.
before something
I
comes
like
out.
to be surprised.
Yeah.
Anyways, so
Yeah.
this trailer starts off with this guy like running towards this little like tunnel, I guess. It's a tunnel.
Yeah.
And he turns around and it's Del Toro. Guillermo.
It's
Del
actually
Toro.
him.
It's actually
in the
him
game.
In the game. So we were talking about, it was funny, we were talking Del Toro, motion capture, all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
This is like the culmination of
Bringing
it.
it around town.
Yes. So he is working with Kojima
Mm-hmm.
on Death Stranding.
Which he was in Silent Hills, right?
Yes,
he
he was
was working
working.
with him on that.
Mhm.
Okay.
So that's great.
That's so great.
It's so great because I think they're just going to make PT. Or Silent Hills. Like,
You think so?
I think they're going to take all the assets, take everything they
Yeah.
did, and just make the game they wanted to and just change little details.
Now, I did see a clip. Was there like is there like a war on the shores? Like a
Yes.
clip of that going on?
that's part of that trailer. So he
Okay.
goes to the tunnel and the camera like goes up and there's this like tank covered in barbed wire that like goes over the tunnel like above. It's like a bridge tunnel thing. So there's that and a bunch of these soldiers, but
Yeah.
it looks like World War II
right.
style. So yeah, they go through, and then Del Toro turns around and you see it's him, and he's got this big capsule contraption, and he like plugs in a key and turns it, and then a baby like all of a sudden forms inside it, and it's weird because the baby like winks at you. It's a very creepy thing.
That is weird.
But then he turns back around and starts going down the tunnel, and then the villain in Doctor Strange, not Dormammu, but the other guy, that guy.
Miles.
No, his name's
the actor.
Yeah, the actor.
I'll look it up. You keep talking.
Yeah, so he shows up. It's, obviously his likeness and everything.
Wow.
And so he's there, and there are these like three, maybe four, like, they look like futuristic soldiers with like night vision goggles and stuff.
Okay.
And they all show up in front of him, and then they all like start bolting it towards Del Toro, and pretty much ends there.
Like so weird.
They show his face. What's his name, Brett? You're killing me.
Sorry, I just got sidetracked by the fact that there's another Benedict in Doctor Strange.
Why? Why are there two?
There's Benedict Cumberbatch and then Benedict Wong.
Oh yeah,
who plays the character Wong.
Yeah. I thought that's great.
So Miles,
Him,
Mads Mikkelsen.
Mads Mikkelsen. See,
Mads Mikkelsen.
yeah.
Mads Mikkelsen.
He's Hannibal in the Hannibal show.
Okay.
So he's in it too, which is pretty cool.
And Norman Reedus.
Norman Reedus. Yep, he didn't show up in the trailer.
Right,
but
but
he's back
I'm just
in it.
reminding everyone.
Yes. So no new information. I can't tell you a thing that I know other than what I just said.
But you did tell me that, so I've never heard of this happening before. You can play the trailers side by side and they complement each other.
Yes.
So one thing happens, everything is happening in like real time as you play them together.
Yes, I've only seen the specific point everybody's talking about, so I don't know what it looks like side by side if there's anything else that's cool that happens. But in the original trailer, there's a part where Norman Reedus has the baby, and he's holding it, and it just disappears randomly in the trailer.
Right.
Well, when you line them up, at that point when he loses the baby, it lines up perfectly when Del Toro turns the key in the thing, and the baby appears in the capsule. So
cool.
It's like immediately Norman Reedus' face, like the second it goes click, like it makes the noise, his face like looks up and he knows he lost the baby, or it's like going all over him. So it's really cool. Like,
oh man,
it's freaky. But obviously it's planned that way, you know. I assume. So that's about it. The only other details that were released is from what it looks like, it's only going to be on PS4. I think we knew that already, but just to reiterate.
Yeah, thanks for bringing it up again.
I know, you're welcome. And the engine, they finally said what engine they're using. It's there's a new game called Horizon Zero Dawn.
Okay.
It's from a studio called Guerrilla Games.
Okay.
I don't remember if they did Resistance or Killzone, but they worked on a game, and it's just a really good engine. The Horizon gameplay, like that new game coming out, is so beautiful.
Really?
So I'm really glad that's the engine they're using.
Cool.
So it's it's just like Unreal, just like all the other ones.
Yeah.
But
Unreal is used for like everything.
everything, yeah. So it's pretty cool.
Oh man. Yeah, I have so many reasons to get a PS4.
Yeah,
it's
that's
disgusting.
just to add to the list.
So, speaking of that, can we talk about the new Last Guardian trailer that I showed you?
Oh my god, that's so beautiful.
I didn't see any new. I mean, I can't remember what footage was in the original trailer that they released. I don't know if this is just like a bunch of clips from that. But they put out this.
I would call it a legacy trailer.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. For sure. It's like a legacy trailer. It's like a medley of the history leading up to The Last Guardian, which comes out this year, right? This month.
It comes out Tuesday.
Wow. So they show you like I want to say it's like a map, and it looks like an old, or no, actually it's just like drawings, but it looks like an old. I thought of a map because it's like an old like charred map type look, and then it opens up to gameplay of Ico, and then it goes back to that old drawing look, and then opens up to Colossus from Shadow of the Colossus, and then like the music is playing and swelling, and then it's like it peaks and it opens up to gameplay footage of The Last Guardian, and it's like the most beautiful, majestic, like just crazy. It's so awesome, and I cannot wait to play it. Like I was getting like chills watching it. I'm just so freaking excited about it.
It's funny because apparently we've been waiting 10 years for this game, which
blows my mind.
My mind too. It was initially supposed to come out on PS3. That was,
And then they did the HD collections of.
Well, that didn't stop them. There were just so many setbacks throughout the thing. Like the writer.
No, I wonder if that's why they put those out.
Oh,
if they
to
were like, we're gonna put something out.
Yeah,
at
to
least,
keep people. I don't know if that was them who worked on them. Because sometimes they always give it to different companies.
Yeah.
So companies can test out their skills.
I think I remember now that you mentioned that people talking about like the next Shadow of the Colossus game.
Right.
And it just never happened.
Nope.
Dude, 10 years. I got stressed out when we couldn't podcast for like 4 weeks.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I know. It's funny because I don't feel like I've been waiting that long for it. Like, then again, I don't think I played Shadow Colossus when it first came out.
Yeah, I didn't.
I didn't play it till at least maybe like 2 years after.
Yeah.
But anyways, it's just interesting to think that it's been 10 years since another one of these games, especially after the success of Shadow of the Colossus.
Yeah,
you would think they would want to pump something out 2 years after. But I think that also helps it because now people have been waiting for so long that I can't wait to play this.
Yeah, it looks unbelievable.
Yeah, and I'm super excited. I of course pre-ordered it. I had to get it. I'm going to, so just gotta wait at this point. But yeah, it looks beautiful. It looks to be, almost a mixture between Ico and Shadow of the Colossus.
Oh yeah, it totally does.
Because it's like, you do play as a little boy like Ico, and then the creature, the guardian you're with, is the size of a Colossus.
Huge,
so
yeah.
It's cool to see, And I wonder if it's going to explain more story. You know how it's kind of like a shared universe, but you never played Ico, so
no, I never. I started it, and I played like an hour or two into it, but I never played through the whole thing, which I should.
Yeah.
I want to, but I've just every time I've wanted to be in the universe, I've just played Shadow of the Colossus.
Yeah,
again.
it's like why? I've already done the grand journey.
Oh,
Ico's great though; it's a good time.
Yeah, and so. Did you beat Ico?
Yes.
Do you see, like, does it tell you how the two connect? Is it just, like, loose-based
You
imagery?
can tell there's, like, a big universe, and I don't think they're trying... Well, obviously they're trying to make a story, but I think they're leaving it very mysterious, like, for you to interpret.
Yeah.
So, I think, I got what I think is going on, but I don't know if there's any connection between Ico and Shadow of the Colossus other than... like a boy with horns. It's weird. There's a lot of stuff, but once you play it, at some point we can talk about it some more. But I'd like to hope that the new game will connect some of those things, maybe make some sense.
When they put out the HD versions of Ico and Shadow of the Colossus, was there anything different about the games or just the graphics?
The graphics were better. You got trophies. They didn't. I don't think they added anything. I think. There was a time trial mode added to Shadow of the Colossus.
Oh, that's interesting.
So
that would actually be fun in that game.
You have to beat the bosses as quickly as possible. I don't know if that was in the original.
I don't think so.
I don't either. But other than that, no. There was no there was a bunch of bonus footage. They showed an early trailer for I think it was Shadow of the Colossus, and they wanted it to be a 4-player multiplayer game where it was 4 people, on horsebacks fighting the Colossus, and it was a really cool looking trailer.
Wow.
But then they changed it to Shadow of the Colossus. So.
Yeah. Well, I'm not mad.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, because I have them both on PS2, and I just want to play. I don't have a way to play The Last Guardian, so I mean, unless I came up to your room and played it. But you're gonna be playing it, so I'm probably gonna. I want to start at Ico and then play through Shadow of Colossus again.
Then hopefully by that point you'll have the PS4.
Yeah.
Too.
I just can't wait for that game.
Just can't wait.
Also, I haven't seen it yet, but apparently there's some trailer and footage action going on for Marvel vs. Capcom 4.
Yes. So going to the Sony event, I don't remember the name of it, but they announced a crap ton of games. One of them being Marvel vs. Capcom 4.
It's called Infinite?
Yes, because it has to do with the Infinity Stones.
Oh.
Yes. So the initial trailer shows Mega Man, which is sweet to see he's coming back, and Ryu.
It looked like I saw like a still, and is it Mega Man from like it looked like the one from what's the one Network, like Mega Man.
Oh, Battle Network, like that one. He looks more like Mega Man X.
X, okay.
But yeah, he has a lot of different things on him. Like he looks complicated.
He looks complicated.
Yeah, he's got a lot of things on him. But so yeah, it's him and Ryu versus Iron Man and Captain Marvel, and that's the the CG trailer, no gameplay. And then the day after, they showed gameplay.
Yeah,
and it looks great. It looks everything that was great about the third one just brought into the next generation.
So happy that Mega Man's back.
I'm so happy too. Zero was cool.
Yeah, he's great.
I hope they're both in it.
Yeah, me too. That was the thing that I was like, there were a few characters that it was like, oh, this, secondary character is here, and that's awesome, but you don't get the original, which
Right.
is a bummer.
Yeah.
No.
So, and they also announced Morgan.
From Darkstalkers.
Darkstalkers, I wish I could speak. And Captain America, which obviously they were going to be in it. So I'm curious if this is going to have a more Marvel Cinematic Universe feel to it. I'm curious to see. And also how there was the X Factor?
Yeah.
In this one, they use the Infinity Stones.
Oh.
So like Captain Marvel, she had time. She used the time stone, and Ryu slowed down, and she just beat the crap out of him. So I think maybe you'll be able to pick a stone, and then you'll use that as your X factor.
Okay. Yeah.
So, but it looked cool. There was combos. There was a lot of tag team. Like they showed Mega Man beating the crap out of Iron Man. Oh, the camera died. and then they switched, tagged in Ryu, and they kept the combo going back and forth between each other. So
yes. I haven't played Marvel vs. Capcom 3 in a while, but when it came out, I played it a gross amount.
Oh my god, that was it's one of the few fighting games that I actually did arcade mode for every character.
Did you?
Yeah,
I didn't make it through all of them, but I started.
There was an achievement, so I had to do it.
Really?
But it was just that good of a game that they each got their own little story bit at the end, and I don't know, it's just so good that it didn't bore me after a while.
Yeah, well, the movesets are all unique enough that, which is a thing we have now in video games where they do there was a time where every character that, in Street Fighter, every character that was wearing like a gi had all the exact same moves, Oh,
I never compared it to the clothes.
Yeah. I mean, well, that's how, Ken, Ryu, Dan, they all had
Akuma,
and
but
now
they had they were all I get what you mean. They all had the same moveset.
Yeah, and there were little variations, and they still have similarities in Street Fighter. They obviously have a lot of the same specials and stuff like that, but they have variations. And in something like Marvel vs. Capcom, everyone's so unique that playing through the game feels like a different thing. And I always get really excited about getting good with each character. Some of them I never get good with, but by the
MODOK.
end, I don't have no desire to get
Psionic
good with MODOK.
Blaster!
Oh, it's the worst.
I love MODOK.
Little kicks.
I suck with him, but I love playing as him because he annoys you.
I hate him so much. But a lot of them by the end of the campaign, you're like, oh, I could actually play as this character.
Right.
And I would go through the game and then go online and play with the character a little bit. And
why do you play online?
I would get crushed, but just for fun.
Online for fighting games?
Yeah.
Worst invention
terrible
ever.
idea. It's a terrible idea.
It oh my god, my heart.
Yeah.
But anyways, they also re-released it on PS4.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Marvel vs. Capcom 3, $25, and it's got all the DLC and everything. So
Sick.
it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Waiting for Xbox, though. I hope they bring it that way.
Right. What else did they announce for PS4?
A lot of freaking things. So everyone's been speculating, but Last of Us Part 2 was announced.
Yep.
Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Not too much. I mean, the trailer's very cool. That's all I'm going to say about that.
That's fair.
They showed gameplay for the new Crash. I was going to say Crash Trilogy, and it became Trash Trilogy. I don't even know.
Show gameplay for the new Trash. I was like, what the heck is that?
Trash Dumpster, the game.
That's great.
Crash Trilogy.
Yeah.
They're remaking Crash Bandicoot 1, 2, and 3 in HD. It looks beautiful. They announced a remaster for Parappa the Rapper.
No way. What?
So that looks interesting. I've never played any of those.
I didn't either. I just remember seeing I think I had a demo once. I didn't understand how to play it. So.
Yeah, it's it's like a Guitar Hero and Dance Dance Revolution combined. It's weird. Anyways, so they announced that. I'm probably missing 100 things, but a lot of good stuff announced is what I'm saying. Just great reason to get a PS4.
I know. And so do you want to talk a little bit about Final Fantasy?
I do. I just want to make sure. Yeah, that's all I need to talk about.
Oh, all right. Yeah. I know you wanted to get there.
Oh my God, Final Fantasy 15.
And I don't want to skip over it on accident.
So yeah.
Why is it so good?
This game just gives me the chills. So, God, where do I start? Just everything, just so cool. Let me give you a little story, and then tell me how you feel about the story after I tell you.
Okay.
So, this game took 10 years to make.
What?
Like The Last Guardian, they've been working on it. And I don't know why they did this, but they're taking a multimedia approach. Your face looks horrified. Where instead of just playing the game, you need like 10 different other things to get the full experience.
You need them?
So yeah, let me tell you how I've been consuming this game.
Yeah.
It's not just playing it. There's so much. So there's the main game.
Okay.
Before that, there were 2 demos that came out. One is a normal demo that just takes a portion of the game and you get to play it. That's fine. Then there's the Platinum demo, which is a prequel to the main game, which I personally think is necessary before. It gives you a little backstory and it gives you some bonuses for the main game.
Okay.
So it's prequel before that. Then there was a GameStop exclusive pre-order bonus that is a full arcade game called A Knight's Tale or A King's Tale.
Okay.
And that is a side-scrolling platformer that is the story of your main character's father and his journey to become king and things he did before he became, king and stuff. So there's that. You can only get that at GameStop.
Did you get that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I originally was going to get it from Amazon because they gave me like $10 off, but I decided to go the other way and get the game. So there's that. There is a animated movie called Kingsglaive.
Okay.
And this is the story. At the beginning of Final Fantasy, you play as a prince whose city gets destroyed by this evil emperor. So Kingsglaive tells the story of the city falling and what happens to your father's king and all this, I would say, major important story stuff.
Yeah.
That tells you that story. In the game, they give you short, like 2-minute cutscenes from the movie to kind of tell you that story.
Okay.
But after experiencing that, I was like, I got the movie. I got the deluxe edition, which came with the movie. So I watched the movie before. So there's that. There is a mobile game that is a tie-in to the main story.
Are you kidding?
I wish I was. So that hasn't come out yet, but that's just kind of part of it. It's like just side stories and little goofy things. So
Yeah.
not necessary, but it's more story to the game. There's also, let me look at my list. There's a 5-episode anime that tells the story of the main characters you play as the game, and it's just more side story, but kind of gives you little bios on each character in the game. So I would say do all of that before you actually play the game.
Before you play it?
Yeah, because the story, they really expect you to do all that before you go into it.
Wow.
Which I personally think is pretty cool.
It is cool.
I like the approach. I don't think I'd like it if every game did it.
Yeah. I mean, that would get a little bit much. I mean,
because you have the movie, you have to beat that whole arcade game before you even play it. Luckily, it's short. It's like 2 hours.
Okay.
Which I was fine with. It gave me, the story. You have to play the demo, which is probably an hour. You have to watch the anime, which is 5 30-minute episodes.
Yeah.
So it's like you're 10 hours into the game before you even play the game.
Wow.
But that being said, I was pretty happy I did all that because, like I said, when I started the game, they really just throw you right in.
So you did all of it. You watched the movie, the anime, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
How were they as standalone things? Like, is the anime good?
The anime is solid. It's it's pretty action packed. It definitely feels like almost like a game tie-in to the movie.
Yeah, just like a companion.
Yeah, like how with movies they have the tie-in games. It almost felt like that, but it was still good. It was cool. The movie was really cool. The animation was awesome. Combat was awesome, like all the animation for fighting. The only thing is they couldn't figure out how to get the mouths to work. Like everyone talked, but they couldn't figure out the emotions to make the mouth look like when somebody was yelling no, their face was like almost flat, and they were like no, but they didn't have their mouth do the right emotion, so it looked a little odd. It was just a little off.
That's very funny.
But the story was very important. The side-scrolling game was cool. Yeah, so it was all cool.
But there's no soundtrack.
There's a huge soundtrack.
Yeah, there's a huge soundtrack.
There's also a clothing line that you can get. There's an action figure line. They went all out for this game.
Wow.
Yeah, the clothing line's pretty cool. Super expensive.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it like stuff that the characters wear?
Yes. Yeah. It's which doesn't seem practical to wear.
Right, that's what I'm thinking. Like, do people just buy it for cosplay reasons, or
It's more for the Japanese fashion because a lot of games do inspire like fashion trends.
fashionese?
So fashionistas.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Japanistas.
Yes, exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah. So all that being said, what would you think? Like, could you think of a game you would like all of that to do before you actually play the game?
I mean, I would love. I always go back to it because it's like my favorite game, but I would love for that to exist for Shadow of the Colossus.
Of course.
I would love to watch a 5-episode anime, an animated film, a mobile game, an arcade game, a side scroller where you have to fight Colossus. Like
that would be pretty awesome.
Colossi. I don't know.
The demo, like
That would be great. I mean, the other one I can think of is Alan Wake. That's another one of my favorite games. The game itself is very much feels like a movie.
Yeah. There are some live action scenes like on the TV. You can watch a little TV
right.
and stuff.
It also comes with a book, the special edition. But I would love to watch an Alan Wake movie, and I think those two, because I could see how they would do it. Because there's definitely more story you could get for either of those games, and I would be, out of my mind excited for a movie or an animated series for either of those.
Yeah, animated for Alan Wake.
Actually, wouldn't even have to be. That would be cool if it was animated, but I'd watch a live action.
Yeah, they could put it on Stars or something.
Yeah, I would totally watch that. That would be super sweet. So I definitely like that. I mean, when the Street Fighter 4 special edition came out, I was excited because it came with the soundtrack, animated movie, all that stuff. The animated movie was not good.
Yeah, I remember you telling me it.
It really bummed me out because I was so stoked for the special edition, and it felt like just such a throwaway. Like, the animation was pretty. I mean, it looked like Street Fighter animation, like if you've seen any of the other animated movies or even the comic books, but it wasn't very exciting to watch. Like, it overall was pretty boring.
Was it like a motion comic almost, or
close to that?
Okay.
It felt barely more animation than a motion comic.
Oh, that's depressing.
And yeah, like not a lot of moving parts, and also it just felt like a collection of the cutscenes you would get in the game, which are not anything
they're not
exciting. Good. You know what I mean? So it felt kind of like you were saying. It felt like kind of a companion. I would say this is on the worst end of that spectrum. But yeah, I think if they do it well, that's really cool. I mean, I love when there's been a lot of animated movies that have come out for there's one for Dante's Inferno, Dead Space put out a couple animated ones.
Mass Effect had one.
And a lot of times they're pretty cool.
Yeah.
But
the Halo ones were pretty cool. Did you see those? Halo Legends and Fall of Reach?
Fall of Reach was the show, right?
No. Fall of Reach was the animated Fall of Reach.
I didn't see any of the animated ones.
What was the show called, though?
We talked about it. I thought it had the word fall in it.
Shoot. I'm never gonna remember. Yeah, because there was Fall of Reach. That came out on Netflix. We both had it in our queues. I remember us talking about that.
Yes, that's the animated one.
Yeah, because that was only available, I think, if you got the limited edition.
Okay.
And then they eventually released it.
Yeah, I heard it was cool, but Forward Unto Dawn.
Forward Unto Dawn.
That was a Halo 4 movie.
Yeah, there's another live action one.
Nightfall.
Yes, Nightfall. That was good.
Yeah, just got an email.
Nice. So yeah, Halo I guess has technically done it because they do have the books. They have.
Oh yeah.
They even have the arcade games. They have the spin-off games. So, but that I guess Final Fantasy is also a universe. I was gonna say because that's like an established universe, but technically Final Fantasy. Although each game's different. I don't know. It's a weird thing.
Yeah.
But I thought that was a cool approach. I
agree.
I was pretty excited. I feel bad for the people who don't get to experience all that.
Yeah.
But the game by itself, even if you don't do any of that stuff, you can still have a really good time playing it. Story might be a little confusing. Like I said, I'm glad I watched everything. But overall, the gameplay is very tight, very solid. Plays a lot like Kingdom Hearts, which
cool.
Thumbs up.
Yeah, you love
one of my favorite games. So the story's awesome so far. I'm only on chapter 2, so they are just getting to the point where it's the aftermath of the movie.
Yeah.
So like I just saw just a little bit of how they react to what happened in the movie. So
that's interesting.
Yeah, gameplay. The creature design's awesome. Voice acting's awesome. I'm gonna play it a lot more. I'm 7 hours in right now.
Yeah.
I have this like RPG mentality where I have to do every side mission, everything first before I continue
I get
with
that.
the main story,
Yep.
which kind of stinks because I really want to play the main story,
Yeah.
but it's I want to experience everything.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to get more into it. They said if you just do the story, it's 40 hours.
I was going to ask, what kind of commitment are you looking
40
at?
hours, which I'm totally fine. Witcher 3 at 176.
That's right.
So that's why I
Was that your final count? Did you beat it?
Yep. I finished
176.
It. 176.
Good Lord.
So I'm looking to hit that for Final Fantasy.
Think so?
Totally fine with doing that.
Yeah.
I probably won't. I feel like because they said if you do not all the side missions, but most side missions, they said it's about 100 hours.
Okay.
So,
So yeah, compared to The Witcher, that's actually tame.
Yeah, that is. I think I spent a lot more time in The Witcher than I should have, but so I'm excited.
It's awesome.
It's been in my top three for this year for a long time. So.
Yeah. Oh, it's cool, man. Yeah, I look forward to hearing more about it. I've never played through an entire Final Fantasy game. So
I think this is the best one for newcomers as well.
Really?
Because the combat's so different. It's a lot more,
that's right.
like God of War. It's button mashing and.
Are there any like RPG turn-based elements? Or
Yes, you can turn on a mode called wait mode, where when you start a battle, you can freeze time and look at the creatures and determine what moves you want to do.
Oh, that's interesting.
So I haven't done it yet, so I don't know entirely how it works. But they give you a quick tutorial, like if you want to turn on wait mode, do this. And,
that's cool.
So yeah, I prefer the action. Being able to deflect and roll and do all this stuff. But I'll try.
Yeah.
I'll try wait mode to see if it feels more like older Final Fantasies.
Right. Yeah, it's cool that they're introducing options like that.
Yes.
That's really awesome. Different ways to play, and I like we were talking about that in The Evil Within, how you have options for like what the screen can look like and stuff like that.
Yep.
And I don't know. I like that. I like that they put that in. Everyone's experience is a little bit unique.
Right.
So that's pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Freaking video games, son. I have nothing else in games really.
I think I'm all set. Oh, one last thing.
Yeah.
Did you hear what got added to Build-A-Bear?
No.
So it's a video game character.
How do you do this every week?
It just works. So I think the gods have it in for me. So you know how with Build-A-Bears, you can sometimes. Have you ever made a Build-A-Bear before? Have you ever built a bear?
I actually haven't. I've had 2 given to me.
Okay.
I've never made one myself.
Okay, so there's a process where you have to like shove its back into a pipe.
Yeah,
and
I've
fill it
seen-
up with stuff
yeah.
and put in the little heart. Well, during that whole process, you have a chance to put in like an audio file, basically.
Yeah, that's right.
You can put it in their wrist and click it. So this new character, I really hope, has one of those audio files because it's Sonic the Hedgehog, and I'll play Sonic music. You knew it was coming from a mile away.
Yeah,
but
like how is there new Sonic information every week?
I'm on the lookout, man.
Wow.
So yes, Sonic Build-A-Bear.
I actually kind of want one of those.
I almost considered going out and doing it.
Is it there yet?
I think so already.
I want the
holiday
Turtles
season.
ones.
They have turtle ones?
Yeah. Do I see what they come out with all the time? They have How to Train Your Dragon ones because we'll go to the mall and the kids want to go in there, and like they did. I think they had. Yeah, they had ponies, My Little Ponies. Those are actually pretty cool. But yeah, they have all the turtles, and I'd be into that.
How do they look? Like pretty good?
They're cool. Yeah, yeah.
Sonic looks like plush, like older plush.
Yep.
I guess older.
They
style.
have Star Wars bears that are pretty cool.
Oh, that's pretty.
The Vader
I've seen
bear.
the Kylo Ren one.
Yeah, okay. There's a Vader one that's pretty
Oh,
dope.
that's cool.
Yeah, super sweet.
But yeah, the Sonic one's cool. He holds a ring. He has like
That's
a
awesome.
soft ring.
You should
yeah.
go get one.
I know it'd be
They're
pretty cool.
Sweet. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like I said, I hope there's Sonic music in the wrist.
I mean, it should be the ring noise.
Oh, that'll be cool too.
They should do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they should offer that.
Yep.
Hear us out, Build-A-Bear. We got ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
right?
Okay, that's it. That's all I have. I got my Sonic music in. I'm good.
That's good. I'm proud of you. Proud of you.
Are you flipping them off again?
No, I'm not. And I'm sorry about that. I'm nervous to watch how that
That's fine.
came out. Anyways, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Again, if you're watching, you're not necessarily subscribed. Maybe you just found the video, but we are on the new YouTube channel,
Yes.
the Keep Up VE. Find that, subscribe to it. That'd be radical.
Yes. As always, we will share this on Facebook and Instagram and all that good stuff.
Yeah, for
Try
sure.
to anyways. We're pretty awful with it, but
We're working on it, man. Working on it. Yeah. I guess that's it.
Yep.
We'll see you next week.
For another December-rific episode.
Fabulous episode of the Keep Up.
Have you ever heard the wolf cry to a blue corn moon?
Oh my god.
And Babel's gonna end with Brett's death. He almost just fell on his face. Let the forward motion feel the motion of body. Let the moments collide with the end of time. Faces.